half. So definitely in the driving seat is Tiamat and Felipe Mestre. We're going to Group B, of course. That is a very tight group as well.
That was actually it's quite an intense table to look at. That group stage third match. Even though I think we're on match 4 or something.
Group A, Neo Camper versus Guifera.
Neo Camper from France versus Guifera from Brazil.
Neo Camper versus Guifera. So we have one of the strongest players in French PES League football versus the current world champion, and before that the runner-up in the PES 2016. I need to count my years there. The PES 2016 World Finals, and then we have Jose, the Region 1 final champion. Oh, I forgot the words. We have Sofia versus Andre Pumas from Mexico.
Group B, Etorito versus Neo Lotfi.
Etorito versus Neo Lotfi. So Etorito, one of the most exciting talents in international PES sports competitive gameplay, versus Neo Lotfi, one of the most decorated players from French PES League football. I mean, Neo Lotfi himself is only 18 years old versus Etorito, who's kind of getting on a bit now at 20 years old, but he's been playing a very, very long time. Bearing in mind that he's only 20 years old now. He won the PES World Finals 7 years ago. That is a huge achievement. So as we try to see now, I'm just going to see if we can figure out exactly what our next match on stream will be. Oh, I've got the groups in front of us now. So as I can see that in Group A, Guifera is on 6 points, closely followed by Neo Camper. Old Boy has no points, while Jose has 1. Elsewhere, Alex Alguacil and Maya Geka have 6 points in Group C. Andre Pumas leads in Group B, whilst Tiamat and Felipe Mestre lead in Group D. Trying to get hold of what the next game is. I kind of find a little bit blind at the moment, but as we can see now, Jose versus Camper. So that's going to be a potentially, that's where it's kind of a something and nothing game for Guifera. Guifera on 6 points already. He wants to keep up his winning streak, keep up a 100% success record, whilst Neo Camper has 4 points. He's 2 points behind Guifera, but that getting a win in that game, not only against the world champion of PES League esports, but also that would put him in pole position in the group, 1 point ahead of the Brazilian. Big game coming for Neo Camper, but also for Guifera too. Elsewhere, Old Boy and Jose will be looking for potentially one player, maybe Guifera, to get the win. Do they write Guifera off as already qualified? If that's the case, if one of them gets the win there, if Jose particularly gets the win whilst Neo Camper loses, then that changes things up drastically, with Neo Camper potentially dropping down in place depending on the scoring line. As we can see there, Jose and Old Boy. Jose sticking the thumbs up and Old Boy returning. A nice bit of smiling esports there from Old Boy. He's definitely living the moment in this, which is his first esports event under the PES League banner. And let's just dig through the pages now so I can find some stats. There we are. Old Boy, he is well, he actually qualified second in the Asia Online Championship, so obviously 1 place behind Sofia from Japan. Old Boy, 4 years his senior at 25 years old. And there we go. There's the young rivalry with 18-year-old Neo Lotfi. Let's run through some of his accolades actually while we've got some time with him being on screen. He qualified from obviously finishing in the last 8 of the PES 2017 World Finals. He was a quarter-finalist there. Has previously been a quarter-finalist in the PES 2017. Oh, actually, in that World Finals, he actually lost 12-3. So what? There we go. That's actually a repeat of the match. So the last time Etorito played against Neo Lotfi, Etorito came off the bet with 12 goals to 3. Obviously, that was a 2-leg match, but 12 goals versus Lotfi's 3. Is that a sign of things to come? Obviously, Etorito has been on absolute fire in this tournament when he's taken his chances, but that's the thing. His fire has kind of dwindled in the last third of the pitch, should I say? Whilst we have Andre Pumas versus Sofia on screen. That's the match 6 in Group B, and Adam is back with us now as he just dons his headset. And we've just seen just.
Hello, ladies and gents. How are we? What have I missed, Mr. G-Day?
Not much. We just cycled through the players, and just looking at the pages there, we've got Neil Lotfi versus Eterito on screen now. And one of the things that just wanted to bring people back to is Neil Lotfi was knocked out of the PES 2017 World Finals in the quarterfinals by none other than Eterito in a 2-leg game where Eterito won 12 goals to 3. So could that be a sign of things to come?
Just looking at Twitter, I've got a couple of mentions here for you, Mr. G-Day.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, we've got one here saying, well, actually, they've created a little meme almost of you making a mistake where you claimed that you knew somebody and didn't know where you knew them from and then just went, forget about it. But also, we have a little shout out here. Well, we've got a few, but I'll just do one now that I can see here. Christopher Hay. Feel free to give me a shout out on live TV. So how are you doing, Christopher? I hope you're enjoying the live stream with me and G-Day. Yeah, brilliant. So we have, how many games have we got left coming up then, Mr. Graham?
Nobody seems to know.
So they've potentially now we're looking at a...
Just to interrupt, if you do want to get in touch with us on Twitter,
yes.
at Graham_Day for me and at ASB_YT for Adam to my right. And just to quickly touch on that, since you mentioned that, big shout out to PESEP and Precision, 2 PES streamers. So if you are on Twitch and you've not got enough at the end of the streams that we've brought that we have for you now and then later on today, then make sure you check out PESEP and Precision for more PES 2018 content.
Indeed, indeed. Should we talk a little bit of money again? Should we again inform people about what potentially is at stake?
We shall.
So what's at stake for these guys who are potentially qualifying now?
Well,
we know for a fact that the players who are in the group stage, $200
per game.
Per game. So potentially now we're looking at a 6 game.
Good question. That's still to be seen.
Okay.
Which kind of then destroys all of the maths that we have on paper here.
Okay, but it's $200. They're kind of feeding us little bits of information as we go through. We also have $600 for the quarterfinal stage. We then go on to the semi-finals where they can get $1,000. Final is $2,000, and once they get to that stage, they potentially won $4,200, and then they also get a promotional cooperation fee of $4,000 if they win it. So that's $8,200 for this one event. You multiply that by the 3 different tournaments, the Asia, Americas, and of course Europe. We're talking big math here.
£24,600.
Bam. And then we've got the World Finals where usually the money steps up even more. So there's a lot at stake here. The winner last year got, as we mentioned, $200,000. The runner-up got $100,000. So it's life-changing.
Exactly. And that's it. In the next game, if I'm predicting it right, if the next game is Eterito versus Lotfi, it might not be, but if that is the game, one of those players won $100,000 just a few months ago, back at the World Finals in London.
Incredible. Really is incredible. As the next game is on our screen, we've got FC Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. Did you like my Spanish accent there?
That was lovely.
And of course, this group is Group B, match 6. So we're just awaiting the actual confirmation of the 2 players.
Yeah, the main reason for the kind of misunderstanding when it comes to the match settings is obviously commentating on the event remotely. We can't see the internal format, so they're playing some games from one group and some games from the next to try and maximise airtime for the players that are in the tournament, and also obviously give prolong the quality of the stream, but obviously from our
we're kind of reporting from here, basically, from what we're seeing, as opposed to usually when we're doing the live streams, we are actually on site, so we have access to all that information. As the ball gets played through, the offside flag is raised. It wouldn't have counted anyway. I think he put it wide. But yeah, so we would obviously usually have slightly more information than we have. We are trying the best to get as quickly as possible all the information to you, and as soon as we have it on our fingertips, we will be flinging that towards you as the ball gets flung into the danger area and it's cleared away. A really positive start here from Dortmund. And it's Neil Lotfi from France who is in the ascendancy as Eterito has the chance to counter. Iniesta, the pass was poor. The pass through the middle to Suarez was the better option. He decided to go to the right side and it has been intercepted. And it's up towards the halfway line. Graham, as we well know, as the games, as you would expect, go through the group stages, each match becomes more and more important. Does the pressure change the way these two players play now?
I think.
Have you ever noticed it affecting them, or have they always just gone and played their own game?
Well, these two players in particular seem to be almost impenetrable. I mean, Eterito in the last game was kind of rushing things. I don't think that would have been the pressure. I think that would probably be more himself just getting into the swing of the event, whereas Lotfi just doesn't seem to be phased. I mean, perhaps that's the fact that he's 18-year-old. Oh, what an absolute ball! Not so much in the finish, but the pass into the box, finding Aubameyang was an absolutely perfectly timed pass. Finding the pace in there. But the fullback playing Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Who is this mystery Aubameyang?
Aubameyang.
Another chance there, and again, it's a wonderful save. But is that the stats that are coming in again there? That finish, or do you think is that something fairly normal that you've seen in terms of that? Because we've seen that save quite a few times. That wonderful load to the left-hand side, for example, in the last couple of games. I don't know whether that's poor finishing or just due to a good goalkeeper.
I think it could be a bit of both, because the definitely good ball into the box. But I think it could be a bit of both. The keepers in PES 2018 have obviously had a lot of time and effort put into them in terms of compared to PES 2017. There's a lot more animations on. So if the stats are balanced throughout and you don't have hyper players playing against them, then obviously you get to see a lot more of those natural animations that keepers have. Obviously, in real life, keepers don't save many Ronaldo or Messi shots. They just don't have the opportunity to. So the fact that players, maybe Messi and Rakitic and whoever else is on the ball, they're only those players in aesthetics. So it could be an average player taking a shot, which means that it gives the chance for the keepers to shine. So a little bit off there. The fact that the keepers are a lot better, but that's obviously amplified by the stat balance as we get a little bit of build-up. And what a ball, but not the finish. And absolutely,
what a chance that was at the back post, completely unmarked, free header. All he had to do was guide it into that near post. The goalkeeper's all over the place, and it's a really poor effort from Lionel Messi.
Outside of the post and back, quite a margin from that sort of distance. That should have been nestled in the bottom corner, headed down inside the post, and that could be something that Eterito will come to rue.
So just touching back on the stats, do you know at this stage, being our PES expert, again I'll just put the pressure on, do you know at this stage...
I'm just going to say no when you
do you know at this stage what the stats have been selected as, or is that not known? In terms of the different attributes for the different sections of the gameplay.
I thought that all of the stats were 75 overall, but that could be completely wrong and based on something else, which is the only reason why I've not committed to saying that. I was fairly sure that was the case, but I haven't had that confirmed, so I don't want to say that.
So just jumping back into the game as Graham Day sits on the fence wonderfully. Neil Lotfi has really started this game pretty impressively against a free-flowing attacking force in Eterito. It's been the Frenchman who's really taken the game to the Italian, hasn't it?
I mean, Eterito has had his chances, but nothing like we'd expect. Obviously, he had that offside early on, and he had that messy header outside of the post. But yeah, Eterito, I mean, both of those chances weren't Eterito chances. They came from over the top through balls. Eterito plays that low, scything through ball, and that's the story of his tournament so far, whilst we have Ter Stegen making a save. I mean, Eterito in the last game, obviously playing those over-the-top footballs didn't work for him, started playing the lower play, and that's where he got his benefits. And that's kind of what maybe we need to see him do now, is he playing a few more passes, build-up play, has opportunities and men overlapping in the box, but the final ball just wasn't there. And Lotfi had a chance to build with only 5 minutes left in the first half.
So 40 minutes gone here in this first half. FC Barcelona 0, Borussia Dortmund 0. And of course that is Eterito versus Neo Lotfi from left to right. Italy versus France. Eterito won his last game 1-0. Lotfi has had mixed results as well so far. The ball gets played in. We've got the first goal. It's Eterito. Last year's runner-up is up and running.
He is.
See what I did?
The runner.
The reverse, yeah? Luke knows. Luke heard it.
Thumbs up from Luke in the booth over there, but Suarez just does what Suarez does, drills the ball away. And it was kind of hard to read the players again then. I mean, Lotfi, you could tell instantly that he was a little bit shook by it, but Eterito not giving anything away.
I mean, that's the calm and composed finish, but in those situations, there's only going to be one result with Eterito. The man loves scoring goals, and he's got another one there. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Eterito 1, Neo Lotfi 0, and really, it's come slightly against the run of play. You feel a little bit sorry for Neo Lotfi. He's been pretty decent in this first half, and he's not got the goals to show for his performance, and he could have been 2-0 down.
See, the thing, I wouldn't necessarily say that Eterito isn't worthy of having that goal in that game. He definitely had the chances. Lotfi definitely was more composed throughout the whole half in general. But the worrying thing for Lotfi now is that when Eterito is in the lead, that's when he's dangerous. And he's got
News
that goal.
coming in from the top left-hand side. Guifera, last year's world champion, is 2-0 down.
Against Neo Kampfer. So one of the French players, we have Neo Lotfi 1-0 down here, whilst elsewhere Neo Kampfer is 2-0 up. And as I was just saying whilst we were at the room in the break, in the interval before this game, that win will take Neo Kampfer to the top of Group A, 1 point ahead of Guifera if it stays at that sort of scoreline for the next half a game or so.
We well know Guifera is a man not to panic under pressure. He's come from behind a few times in last year's finals and can do it again as the ball gets played in. Double save goalkeeper. Truly incredible, impeccable, industrial goalkeeping. Industrial. Oh my word. I was trying to find a third eye and I landed on industrial. But really,
it works, though.
Being serious, that was truly incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, we're seeing that last-ditch block again. Something I've noticed far more in this first few games today than I did all of last year. The defensive play is far improved, in my opinion.
So much industrial. No, but that sort of it's kind of a little bit of a good feeling for Eterito to have that sort of defence on the rocks, but to then go through that and not slot one away, that must be a little bit disheartening. And from Lotfi's perspective, you're either on one end of the spectrum feeling, you know what, I've got away with something there, I'm quite lucky, or on the other end, you're buzzing because you've salvaged the game and you've still got it to go whilst we have Suarez back in the box, but a little bit too much on it. Oh no, defender knocked out, we have a corner, pressure's still on. Lotfi needs to do something here. If he wants to take 3 points from this game, he needs to develop. But we're at that stage in the game where
we've got a couple of goals going in elsewhere as well. We've got a penalty taken on the bottom left-hand side. We've got a goal as well for Sofia. So Old Boy and Sofia both scoring in seconds of each other. And the top game is still 2-0 to Neo Kampfer, as we are probably going to be going back to the main game here between Eterito and Neo Lotfi very soon. Just a slight pause for a corner to be taken, a few tactical changes, there.
Just
What
to
happens?
add in, we're getting the game in the bottom corner where Sophia's just scored. If that stays the same with Sophia 1-0 in the lead, Sophia will now leapfrog his opponent in that, Andre Pumas, to the first place in that group as well. So big changes now as we.
Well, we're ticking into, this is where the real money's made, isn't it, in terms of those positions in the group stage. It's really the moment where things are decided as the ball gets played back towards the centre. On the penalty spot, a real chance to get a shot away. He didn't. He dallied. We've seen that so too many times for my liking today. Not pulling the trigger early enough, overplaying it, overcooking it a little bit. Too over-industrial for my liking as the ball is challenged on the edge of the area. Dembele plays it forward,
Challenges.
out towards Lionel Messi. Can't get the shot away again, and the ball breaks down. 30, just under 30 minutes remaining here. The ball's played forward towards Patrick Aubameyang. And
Patrick Aubameyang.
what did I say?
Did you say Patrick?
I think I said Mr. Actually, Mr. Aubameyang. As the ball gets played out towards Lionel Messi on this right-hand side. Chance to cross it in. No, twist, turns onto his left foot. In towards the danger area. Another header goalwards. Another incredible save. And how many times have we said that today? The goalkeepers performed really well today as we kick into the final 20 minutes. Eterito still has that 1-0 lead. And he's done that quite a few times, actually. After saying he just scores goals for fun, 2-1-0 performances.
That was
so
almost
far.
the rinse and repeat from the earlier chance where we're talking about Lotfi getting let off the hook. That drilled in ball, nutting it down towards the keeper. Keeper almost just being in the right place and the ball ricocheting back off him. But now Lotfi in the ascendancy. Potentially the last 15 minutes he needs something. 1-0 down. He's definitely got to get something back, but he needs something now if that's going to happen. But it's not going to happen with a
So
ball in.
Neo Lotfi from France piling on the pressure here as we take to the final. Really the last stages, the 15 minutes before injury time. And Eterito hang on a little bit here as the ball's played in towards Aubameyang. He tried one pass too many. The shot was on with the left foot. But again,
Just needs to pull the trigger.
needs to pull the trigger, and the only person who's done that so far today is Eterito on that one chance in the first half, and surprise, surprise, is the only goal we've had. Both players have been guilty of overcooking some attacking positions. Down the left-hand side with Marco Reus, 9 minutes remaining, in towards Aubameyang. That's Mr. Aubameyang to you. On the left-hand side, finds Castro. Castro challenged by him forward towards Dembele. And that sprayed pass out towards Lionel Messi on this right-hand side. Will he hold it in the corner? Well, he's not going to get that chance because it's one back brilliantly there. And now he feeds Marco Reus down the left-hand side. Is there last gasp drama here for the man from France? Lovely play in field towards Castro. Chance to shoot in towards Aubameyang. Stops the goalkeeper. World-class play, and Eterito has his head in his hands because that is a truly sensational counter-attack from the man from France. Wonderful, wonderful football. The ball over the top, people shouting to pull the trigger. He played it up over the top, and he just lifted the ball over the goalkeeper into the back of the net. And Graham Day, Mr. G Day, we have got a final 5 minutes on our hands.
You've got to kind of feel that's got to take the wind out of the sails of Eterito. Lotfi there, sits back in his chair, but inside, look, you can't. Yeah.
He knows that he has potentially just dropped 2 points, and it could be worse because now the wind, as you mentioned, is well and truly in the Frenchman's sails. How will they approach this final 2 minutes, Graham? Is he going to now go for the win as Guiafera has conceded a third?
That's insane.
So last year's World Finals winner finds himself 3-0 down. And what does that tell you about this World Tour so far?
You just can't even call anything. I mean, Torito 5 seconds ago looked like he was just steaming towards another 1-0 win. 5 seconds before that, potentially could have had an extra goal on his side. But now, Lotfi looking like he's got something. But then again, Eterito has another chance and just overplayed the ball again.
It looks like Eterito, it looks like he's going to have to settle for a point. Neo Lotfi will be happy of a point if it stays the same. Only 1 minute of added on time. A cynical foul on the halfway line. Eterito knew exactly what he was doing. He couldn't afford to concede another goal, and as a result, Gerard Piqué has been sent from the field, much to the protest from the player. The referee waves away the appeals. The card comes out. He's off. And Eterito will finish the game with 10 men. And how this game has turned, what would happen now to his World Finals chance if he were to concede another goal now?
And the thing is, 65, 70 minutes, Eterito used all 3 substitutions. He can't replace Piqué, so he's had to drop Busquets into defence. So he has a massive disconnect now between defence and attack. But there's 25 seconds left in this game. He's not going to get another attack. He just needs to make sure he sees away the danger. But Lotfi's going to do
this
everything he can
literally
now.
will be the last chance. It's on this left-hand side, played it towards Schürrle. Schürrle plays it into the danger area. It finds either Schürrle, and we've got the winner. And Eterito can't believe it. Neo Lotfi flies off his seat. It's a stunning turnaround in the World Tour 2018. The Asia round has well and truly taken off because Neo Lotfi has just produced one of the greatest turnarounds in PES finals history. He was 1-0 down with 5 minutes remaining. He equalised. There was a player sent off, and in the final kick of the match, there's the winner, Graham.
Boom. What can you say about that? I mean, 5 seconds before, I was talking about just a few minutes ago, Eterito thought, you know, I'm going to go for a sliding tackle. Piqué 2-footed through the back of the man, just see away the danger. Didn't work. Worked against him. 1 man down, 1 down, no time left on the clock. There we go.
Last kick of the match. What a performance from the Frenchman. And where does that... I asked you the question as the free kick was being played. If he was to concede now, where does that leave his World Finals chances? Mentally, can he recover from this?
Looking at the table, that makes things... You know, that actually puts Eterito in last place in that group. If this table is the latest one that I'm looking at, before that last series of games, Andrew Pumas had 4 points, Eterito had 3, Lotfi had 1, Sofia had 3. And as far as I'm aware, Sofia and Lotfi won, which will put Sofia up to 6 points, Lotfi up to 4 points, which means that the table would be Pumas has 4, Eterito has 3, Lotfi has 4, and Sofia has Eterito on 3 points would be in last place in that group now. Going from joint first, or at least second, to last place because of the last kick of the game. That's got to sting.
I'm very surprised. We were praising Eterito's defensive ability before. There's also the decision to bring the player down, get sent off. In hindsight, it's an error.
With 25 seconds left on the clock.
On paper, when it happened, we both said cynical, but probably the right decision to stop the attack in the last minute. But then he had the player less, and of course conceded. So a world of ifs, but it's all good in hindsight. But you have to perform when it really matters. And Neo Lotfi really did, as we are watching the final 10 minutes here in the game in another group between Dortmund and, of course, Dortmund in this charity match. First versus seconds.
I want to
play a chance to win it.
Just to mention, though, is after making that tackle, Eterito, for me, has made his biggest mistake of the tournament. And that wasn't dropping Busquets back and bringing the defenders back, but he left all 3 attackers up the front too. When there's 25 seconds left in the game and you're not going to get another attack, bring everyone back. And I think that's probably where his mistake was then. It's almost like he left people up for the outside chance that he was going to get another attack. That wasn't going to happen, and he's kind of misread that situation there.
That situation struck me as someone who was inexperienced, but he's not. And that's why it was so surprising. You know, like we said so many times already today, he came second last year. He's been to the World Finals. He's been to European Finals.
He's been to the World Finals 7 years ago.
Well, exactly. So he's got the pedigree to know what he needs to do, but I suppose the same happens in every sport. Things change, positions change, situations change, and even if you're experienced, you can still make mistakes. at the end of the day, it was wonderful football from the Frenchman.
Just to confirm, if that was Pumas versus Sofia, which I'm pretty sure it is, that would mean that Andre Pumas is now on 5 points with Sofia on 4, Lotfi on 4, and Eterito on 3. So Lotfi is joint second place with Sofia, Andre Pumas first, and Eterito is in last place in his group at this point in time.
So we're just going to try and find you the information on the game that's on your screen. 3 minutes remaining here. Liverpool with a 2-1 lead against Leipzig. We are just checking what group we are watching here.
Just to confirm, I'm pretty sure that we are just having 3 games per group, which means just looking at the table here, this isn't 100%, but we've had an educated guess in the studio here that we've had groups A and B game 1, and then groups C and D game 1, so, and then groups A and B game 2, C and D game 2. If that's the case, that would have been group A and B game 3, which means Torito just lost then and is out of the tournament.
Jose has just won there. So he was, of course, Liverpool, and he looks very happy, and that would, I would imagine, put him through to the knockout stages if, like you said, that is correct, and that was the third and final game in the group. We do apologise, like we said, about not being able to inform you exactly of how many games, for example. Like you said, we are reporting with a limited amount of knowledge about what's going on in Tokyo. But of course, as soon as we do know every bit of information, we are passing that straight across to you. Like I said, normally when we're on the live events, we have that actual data right in front of us. We're kind of getting the live feed back and trying to sort of piece together a few bits of information that we don't have. But we are getting an updated table sent through sort of periodically. So hopefully when that refreshes, we will get the complete table for you.
So
maybe we should ring these guys and they can tell us.
No, they look too good to be on the phone. So in that game, did Jose win?
Yes, he did. He celebrated immensely, which suggests to me he is through to the knockout stages.
Because that would put Jose on 4 points, level with Neo Kampfer, who he's just beaten. So that means Jose would go through on head-to-head.
Which is the most important mechanic in terms of choosing who goes through if they're level on points.
Yeah.
So he would definitely go through, which would then put that Kampfer out.
Yeah, that would put Kampfer out. All Boy is already out, so Guifero and Jose would
Guifero would go through top.
Yeah, Jose on 4 points.
6-4. So like you said, we are apparently, from what we've tried to piece together, last year's World Finals winner will top his group in Group A. In Group B, Eterito, last year's runner-up, is out. But again, we will clarify that because we could be talking absolute mumbo jumbo.
Yes,
So
there is a very good chance that we've got the matches.
We've got an old group table that's not quite refreshed yet. But we're trying to piece together to suggest that Eterito has
drama.
Exactly. You're thinking it's out. He might be in, and that's the brilliance. Yes, as it looks so far, Eterito has 3 points and is heading out because Neo Lotvi now has 4 after beating Eterito. Sofia has. What Sofia's last result? Because Pumas already has 4, so he's already ahead of Eterito.
Sofia was in the
ahead of
lead. It was a 2-all result, which puts Pumas on 5, Sofia on 4.
So
on 4.
again, yeah. So it would appear, like we said, at this moment in time, the first real drama of the Asia round 1 of the World Tour is that last year's runner-up is out.
Eterito Giannuzzi out at the first hurdle.
And, believe it or not, at one stage, he was topping the group. With 3 minutes to go, he was topping the group with 6 points. He conceded in the 88th minute, then got a point sent off, and then conceded in the 92nd. And that is the drama that we're talking about.
Amazing.